उद्घाट्य योगकलया हृदयाब्जकोशं धन्यैश्चिरादपि यथारुचि गृह्यमाणः यः प्रस्फुरत्यविरतं परिपूर्णरूपः श्रेयस्य मे दिशतु शाश्वतिकं मुकुन्दः अमरीकबरीभारभ्रमरी मुखरीकृतं दूरीकरोतु दुरितं गौरी चरणपङ्कजं परस्परतपःसम्पत्फलायित परस्परौ प्रपञ्चमातापितरौ प्राञ्चौ जायापतिस्तुमः. Okay. We finished with the Asambhava Alankara. Now we have to start with Asangati Alankara. There are three varieties of Asangati. This also works with Karyakarana Bhava. So Viruddham Bhinna Deshatvam Karya Hetvoho Asangatihi. The first variety of Asangati. Asangati is usually that which does not have any Sangati. Sangati na when we talk in Tamil, we use the word Sangati to mean Todarchi, continuity. So Karya Karane Tatra, there should be a continuity in the two. If there is no continuity, one happens in one place and the other happens in another place. So there is no Sangati, there is no connection. So Viruddham Bhinna Deshatvam Karya Hetvoho Asangatihi. Karya Hetvoho, Karya Karanayoho Bhinna Deshatvam. Viruddham, if there is a contradiction between Karya and Karana, on account of the fact that they both happen in different places. Wherever the Karanam is, that is where the Karya Utpattihi also happens. Let's take a thread, a cloth which comes out of a thread. So wherever the threads are present, that is where the cloth also has to be created. It cannot be created in some other thread. This cloth has to be created from this cloth. So Bhinna Deshatvam tu, it can only happen in alankara or kavyam. The example he gives is Visham Jaladharaif Pitam Murchitaha Pathikanganaha. Visham Jaladharaif Pitam. Visham here has two meanings. Generally, you will find that both in Asangati Alankara, Vishama Alankara, some of these rely on Slesha many times, like Virodha Bhasa. So Slesha, you don't generally point out to that Slesha and say, in a kavyam, if it is very apparent, then yes, you do say Slesha Anupranita, whatever, Asangati Alankara, something like that, or Slesha Anupranita Virodha Bhasa Alankara. But generally, you don't highlight the Slesha unless it just stands on its own. Okay, because many Alankaras are based on Slesha. So the word Visham here means both water and it also means poison. So Jaladharehi Visham Pitam. The clouds drank the water, but take it as Visham Pitam. So they drank Visha. It can also mean poison. If you drink poison, then whoever drinks poison should faint here. But then the fainting happens in the women whose husbands are traveling. So Murchitaha Pathikanganaha, Pathikaha, Tesham Anganaha, the women, the beloveds of the travelers, those who have gone on business, they won't come back until the rainy season is over. If they have not returned, and suddenly if you find that the rainy season is starting and the clouds are all black, then the women folk are going to feel it even more because the travelers cannot come back and hence they are unable to tolerate the Manmatha Avastha and they faint. So Murchitaha iti. Visham Jaladharaif Pitam Murchitaha Pathikanganaha. This Vishapanam by Jaladhara is taking in water and becoming a rain cloud. So the moment the rain cloud creation happens, when they see it, immediately they faint and fall out. So Yayoho Karya Hetvoho Karya Karanayoho Bhinna Deshatvam Bhinna Desha Avasthanam Viruddham Anupapannam Tayoho Viruddham Anupapannam. Okay. So Viruddham is equal to Anupapannam. So he defines Viruddha as something that cannot connect with each other. So Karya Hetvoho, usually Karyam and Karana, Bhinna Desha Avasthanam Viruddham, Tayoho Bhinna Deshatva Varnane Asangatihi. usually karya and karana cannot happen in two different places. But if such a description is there, then it is called asangati alankara. Yayoho karyahetvoho bhinnadeshatvam na viruddham tatra na asangatihi iti bhavaha. If the karya and karana can actually exist in two different places, if there is such a situation which is possible, then there is no asangati alankara. You have to think of a place like that where karana is somewhere else and the karya is somewhere else, but that is a possibility. It is not an impossible feature. Right? But if it is only described as an impossible feature, it is asangati alankara, because there should be some kind of a chamatkara there. Otherwise, it's not asangati.
Like for example, if you get cut in the hand, ice water, tears.
Ice water?
The
kanda. Oh, the eyes tear up.
Tears.
Yes, that is a possible thing. Yes. Tatra bhinna deshatvam tu na viruddham. Okay. Jaladharaihi meghaihi visham garalam jalam pitam. Pathikanganaha viyogi vadvaha. Those who have been who have gone away in separation, tesham vadvaha, their wives, murchitaha ityatra vishapanam meghe. Drinking of visha happens in the megham. Tat karyam, whoever drinks has to faint, but the karyam, the effect of that which is fainting, murcha, happens in the traveler's wives. So pathikanganasu iti karyakaranayoho viruddha bhinnadeshatva varnanat asangati lakshana samanvayah. This can happen only because of the slesha in the word visha. Otherwise, it won't fit at all. If you use some other word, if you use garalam, for example, garalam pitam, or if you even use jalam pitam, meghaihi, jaladharaihi, jalam pitam, jaladharaihi, murchitaha, patikanganaha, there is no asangatya alankara. Because the word jalam need not produce fainting there. You understand? So, viruddha bhinnadeshatva varnanat asangati lakshana samanvayah. Pita jalanam meghanam kama uddipakatvat pathikanganaha murchitaha iti virodha pariharaha. How does this doesn't fit at all? Someone drinks visham, somebody else faints. How do you reconcile this fact? You reconcile by saying that Pita jalanam meghanam kama uddipakatvat, because the dark clouds which have drunk water, which have taken in water and they have become dark clouds, they are these kindling effects of manmatha. So they produce that, they increase the manmatha effect in mind of people. So patikanganaha murchitaha. That is why those women fainted. This is the first variety of asangati. There are three types. One is karya hetvoho viruddha bhinna deshatva rupa. That is what we saw now. The second one is ekatra kartavyasya anyatra kriti rupa. You want to do somewhere, but then you do somewhere else. You do the same action somewhere else. It is another variety of asangati, the second one. Third one is anyat chikirshoho tad viruddha kriti rupa. Wanting to do something else, he ends up doing the opposite. Okay. We'll see examples and it will be more clear. So there is the aparam hरणम for the first variety. Aho khala bhujangasya vichitroyam vadhakramaha anyasya dashati shrotram anyaf pranair viyujyate. Khala bhujangasya, there is no slesha in this shloka. Okay, actually there is. The word dashati has two meanings here. Shrotram dashati, one who is biting the ear. So khala bhujangasya ayam vadhakramaha vichitraha aho. This is indeed a very strange methodology of killing that this wicked snake has. The wicked people who are like snakes, they have a unique way of killing people. What do? Anyasya shrotram dashati. They go and bite another person's ears. But anyaha pranair viyujyate. When they bite someone's ear, somebody else lets go of his pranan. That is, somebody else dies. What is the meaning here? So biting the ear means kada kadikiradunu Tamil la solradhu rahasyam solradhunu artham. You know, he came and said something in the ear, biting the ear. So when a snake bites, whoever it bites, only that person will die. But here the kalaha, wicked person, he goes and gossips about somebody else to someone else. So the affected person about whom this person is gossiping, he dies, right? Because he is not able to tolerate that apamanam. So the effect is produced in the other person because the subject of matter is that person. So atra khala bhujangaha ekasya shrotram dashati.
That's like that's like Manthara and Dasharatha, right?
Yes. Manthara bites Kaikeyi's ear and Dasharatha dies. Yes. Khala bhujangaha ekasya shrotram dashati. He bites one person's ear. Anyaha pranaihi viyujyate. Iti sarpa damsha maranayoho. Biting of the snake and death. These two are the karya karanam. So sarpa damshaha eva karanam. Maranam karyam. Even though it is not yathasankyam here. Because karya is alpach and it goes in front. Whereas here sarpa damsha is the karanam. So you take it as karanam and karyam here, whereas this is inge mati varnam. Avladha. Okay. Confuse agudadu. So binna deshatva varnanat. Sarpa damshaha happens in one place and maranam happens in another place. So kalaha kasyachit karne kimapi kathayati. Karna damshanam nama tatra karne damshanam kimapi kathanam. Something wrong about another person. So tena cha anyasya kasyachit maranam bhavati iti vidrodha parihara. Okay. The second one is dvitiya asangatihi anyatra karaniyasya tataha anyatra kritischa sa. Aparijatam vasudham chikirshan dhyam tatha akaroho. So this is like talking ill of Krishna. Actually, talking ill kuda illa. Or kindle adikira madri. No? Krishna tried to, the avataram of Krishna itself is to make this earth without any enemies. Apa arijatam vasudham kartum eva tasya avataraha asid. So aparijatam here, you split it as apa arijatam. Arijatam, arinam, jatam, samuham. So the entire host of enemies were supposed to be removed from the Vasudha. He was supposed to make the earth, Vasudham, aparijatam chikirshan. He wished to make the earth be without enemies. Apagatam arijatam yasyaha sa Vasudha. So this is an adjective for Vasudha. Wishing to remove all of the enemies from this bhumi. What did he do? Dhyam tatha akaroho. You made the Swargam without parijatam. Aparijatam, aparijatam, dhyam, akaroho. You came with Satyabhama and then you took the parijata tree with you, along with you. So you removed you made Swargam as a place without parijata. So this also again, it relies on that play of words, right? Slesha. So anyatra karaniyasya vastunaha tataha anyatra anyasmin adhikarane kritihi dvitiya asangatihi. He was supposed to make bhumi aparijata, but he made swargam as aparijata. Dyauhu. Dyauhu is a strilinga padam. That's why it fits also beautifully. So anyasmin, anyatra, anyasmin adhikarane, in another substratum, the same action has been created. Hey Krishna, tvam vasudham. This is, you can take it as Indra talking to Krishna and saying, we all came and asked you to go and protect the earth and remove the enemies from the earth. Instead, you come here and take parijatam. Abdingra madri, you can Indrasya vachanameva asti. So tvam vasudham bhumin aparijatam apagata shatru samuham kartum icchan, wishing to make this earth bhumi as apagata shatru samuha apa arijatam. Dhyam swargam tatha aparijatam parijata rahitam akaroho ityatra anyatra. Anyatra is here. Lakshana samanmayaha kriyate atra. So anyatra, which is bhumau karaniyasya. The work that has to be done in bhumi, which is aparijatatvam, that has been achieved in anyatra kritihi. Anyatra swarge karana kavarnanat. It is described as being done in swarga. So asangati lakshana samanmayaha. Aparijatam ityatra slesha mulaka abeda adhyavasanena yad asangatyam bhasate tasya bhumi pakshe swarga pakshe cha pritagartha yojanaya pariharaha. Asangatyam is something that does not connect at all. This தொடர்ச்சி இல்லாம இருக்கிறதுன்னு சொல்றோமே அது. So aparijatam ityatra, you take it as a slesha mulakam where you have two meanings and both become a visheshanam for vasudha and bhumi, swargam. So bhumi pakshe you take a different artha. Swarga pakshe tu prithak artha yojana. Is that clear? So whatever inconsistency that you see in the word aparijatam, that inconsistency is removed when you try to use slesha and explain it in two different ways. Okay. The aparam udaharanam for this is Tvatsanga Khandita Sapatna Vilasininam Bhusha Bhavanti Abhinava Bhuvanaika Veera Netreshu Kankana Mathorushu Patravalli Cholendra Simha Tilakam Kalapallaveshu. There are two ways of explaining this. This author, he explains it okay, but the better explanation is in the Rasikranjani Vyakhyanam. There is a Hindi translation for that, which is much better than what this Vyakhyata has given. So first let's look at the meaning. Tvats he Bhuvanaika Veera Cholendra Simha. So Cholendra Simha, the lion among all the Cholas, Bhuvanaika Veera, the only Veera, the single soul warrior in the entire world. Iti Kanchana Rajanam Prati Atra Kavehe Uktihi. So the addresses the king and says, Tvat Sanga Khandita Sapatna Vilasinina. Tvat Sanga, because of your association. That is Tvat Sanga, when they came to meet you. At that point, the enemies were all Khandita. They were destroyed. And the women folk of those enemies who were Khandita, who were destroyed by you, Tava Sangena, or Tava, just by meeting you, the moment they came into your eyesight and you knew that they were enemies, immediately you destroyed them. So Khandita Sapatnaha. Tesham Vilasini, their wives, the wives Bhusha Abhinava Bhavanti, Bhushaha Abhinavaha Bhavanti. Those women seem to be wearing a very new kind of alankarana vastu. So they are wearing ornaments which are very different. So usually we wear kankanam in the hand, whereas what are they doing? Netreshu kankanam. They have kankanam on their eyes, and urushu patravalli. Patravalli kapole, they do some designs kind of thing, like tattooing or just, patches. Some kind of a design, temporary tattoo kind of thing, which is called patravalli on their kapolam. If you have seen this Radha's picture in the ISKCON kind of paintings, you will find that she has a lot of these designs on her face. That is called patravalli, patra designs, something like a temporary tattoo. Tilakam Karapallaveshu, but that is done only on the Patravalli, is done only on the Kapolam or on the face somewhere. But then here it is found to be on the thighs, Urushu. And then Tilakam Karapallaveshu. Tilakam is there on the hand. The Tilakam which should be on the Lalata Tilakam, but that seems to be in their hands here. Now we will go over what this Vyakhyata says and then look at the other meaning here. So atra cholendrena hataha ye shatravaha tvatsanga khandita sapatnaha tesham vadvaha, those ladies Netreshu kankanam. They have kankanam, bangles on their eyes. Urushu patravalli. They have designs which are supposed to be on their cheeks, on their thighs. Karapallavesu tilakam. They have bindi on their hands. Cha kurvanti iti. Anyatra bhuja stana lalateshu. Athava bhuja kapola lalateshu. Whichever. Kartavyanam bhushananam. These ornaments have to be done in different places, other places, other than what is mentioned in the shloka. Anyatra netradishu karana varnanat asangatihi. So this shows that it is an asangati alankara. So the reason he gives, you need to figure out why this happens, right? That inconsistency has to be removed by some sort of an explanation. Here he says, Shirasi hastam nidhaya Rudatinam idrishi samavastha drishyate iti virodha pariharaha. The women seem to be holding their hands on their eyes and face and crying. So usually when you're crying, you cover your eyes and cry, right? Or you try to wash and something. So the tilakam is in the hand. The kankanam seems to be on the eyes. And why would the patravalli be on the uru? I don't know, which is a very different thing. Or they are hugging themselves like that. Maybe some kind of a description you have to think of. But more than this, the much better version of this is kankanam. Kam iti avyayam, which is a word for water. Kanjalochana iti we say, right? Sarojaha. Kanja. Kanja is lotus. So kam is a word for ashru. So ashru kanam netreshu vartate. Slesha. If we take slesha and then try to explain this, then it becomes easier and it's more beautiful when we describe that way. So kankanam netreshu, they are all crying. Those women folk whose husbands have been killed by you, their eyes have water. Urushu patravalli. Urushu, their thighs are all have bark garments and leaves. So they've been pushed to the forest. So they don't have all the luxuries of the city, but they have to wear leaves and bark and all that. So urushu patravalli. Tilakam karapallavesu. Here tilakam is tilameva tilakam. Sesame seeds. So they are doing argyam for their husbands. So tilakaryam kurvanti iti, because their husbands have passed away and they have to pour sesame seeds and water for antyakarma. So karapallavesu tilam vartate. Okay. So you use klesha in this manner to remove that virodha. Okay. So is that clear? Now we can go to the third one.
So the tilakam that you're referring to, tila is okay, the seeds. And you would again say the water, sesame seeds and the water that is used in the
kam. That also you can use.
That also.
Yes.
So tila and also. Kam, right? Or how did you say it?
I said tilameva tilakam iti. That's all.
Oh, tilameva tilakam.
Swarthe ka pratyaha.
Tata. Oh.
That's all.
Okay.
But that is good also. Yellum thanniyum kaila vechindrukaan.
Right. Right.
Yeah. Third asangati, tritiya asangatihi, anyat kartum pravrittasya tad viruddha kritihi cha sa. So anyat kartum pravrittasya tad viruddha kritihi, prakrita karya viruddha karya karanam. He wants to do something, the context is to do some work, but then he ends up doing something different. So viruddha kritihi. Gotrodhara pravrittopi gotrodbhedam pura akaroho. Gotra uddhara pravrittaha api, even though so you'd have to take the Varahavataram of Krishna here, describing Krishna or Vishnu. Pura, when Pura during Varahavatare, in Varahavatara, your work was to Gotrayaha uddharana. Gotrodhara pravrittaha api, even though you had started to uplift the earth. Gotra iti bhumyaha anyat nama. So gotra uddhare bhumyaha uddharane pravrittaha api. Even though you were involved in bringing out the bhumi from the rasatalam. Bhumi had completely sunk into the waters And Varaha Avatara was taken specifically with this in mind, that he had to bring the earth out of the ocean and place her. Right? So Gotra Uddhara Pravrittaha Abhi Uddharanam. Parantu atra kim akaroho gotra udbhedam akaroho. You also chopped off the mountains, that is gotranam parvatanam udbhedanam dalanam kuranyasena. By your hoofs you just destroyed Khura Vighattanadibihi Gotranam, you destroyed the mountains also as you were lifting it. Gotra Udbedahangardu அப்படி எடுத்துக்கூடாதுன்னு நினைக்கிறேன். I'm not sure what he has done here. See, if you look at the Puranas, while they describe the Varaha Avatara, both in Vishnu Puranam and in Bhagavata Puranam, when Varahamurti brings the Bhumi up, he actually cuts up and makes mountains there, so that there is a buoyancy for the earth, because if it is a full round, it will just sink. He wanted to make it more buoyant, and in the pidichu vekkradum bolya, like a play-doh, he used the earth and he made mountains so that she will be stable. That's the avatara rahasyam there. I think that is what he is meaning here, and not just destroying mountains. அது என்னமோ சரியா வரல. गोत्रायाः उद्धारे प्रवृत्तेन वराहरूपिणा तद् विरुद्धं गोत्राणां दलनं खुरकुट्टनैः कृतम् इति द्विविधा श्लेष उत्थापिता. Slesha, okay. So uddalanam kritam, you can say that with his hoofs he tried to he doesn't have hands, right? So all four are hoofs for him. So with his hoofs he tried to break the mountains and not have it as just one big mass, but make it into several mountains, so that they give that balance on the earth. Guess you can take it like that. Okay.
I mean, do you have to restrict it to Varaha Avataram? You could apply to other avatars, right? I mean, you could say that. I mean, if you take the word Gotra Dalanam as killing of the clans, right? And so Parashurama frees the earth of the burden of the Kshatriyas. There is the Gotra Dharanam. And he does the Gotra Dalanam. He destroys the clans of the Kshatriyas.
Krishna Avatara is also like that only.
Krishna Avatara he protects the Vedas or the earth. Either way you can say it in Bhagavad Gita. But he also does the Gotra Bedanam in, I don't know, Govardhanagiri. I don't know.
Not Govardhanagiri. The Mahabharatam war was just initiated for that. And the entire race of Yadavas were also destroyed because of that.
Right. So, right.
That also is possible. Yeah. But because the Vyakhyata takes it as Varaha Avatara, and Appayya Dikshita also mentions it as Varaha Avatara, I was trying to, justify that point.
Got it.
Yeah. Okay. Asyaha अपरम उदाहरणं मोहं जगत्त्रय भुवाम अपनेतुम एतत् आदाय रूपम अखिलेश्वर देहभाजां निस्सीमकान्ति रस नीरधीना अमुनैव मोहं प्रवर्धयसि मुग्ध विलासिनीनां. मोहम अपनेतुम ईश्वरेण स्वीकृतं रूपम. So again, this is a description of Krishna here. Hey Akhileshwara, you one who is the inner controller of everybody. So Akhilanam Ishwaraha Tvam Dehabhajam Moham Jagatraya Bhuvam Moham Apanetum Etat Rupam Adaya. So Dehabhajam Jagatraya Bhuvam Dehabhajam Moham Apanetum. You took on a very beautiful form so that people will get attracted towards that form, and their moham towards the objects of the world will be removed. So everybody will fall in love with the Paramatma, and so their bhakti bhava will increase. That is the idea for taking on such a beautiful form. So, hey Akhileshwara, Jagatraya Bhuvam Dehabhajam Moham Apanetum. Apanetum, in order to remove the delusion with respect to Maya, of that exists with the people. Deha Bhajam, those who have taken on Deha, Sharira, who are present in all three worlds. Jagatraya Bhuvam, Jagatraya Bhuvam Deha Bhaja, those who belong to all the three worlds. Tesham Moham Apanetum, in order to remove their Moham, you took on this form, Rupam Adaya, having taken up this form. Now, with this form itself, Amunaiva, and this form is such that it is Nisima Kanti Rasa Niradhina. This is like an ocean, Niradhi, Jaladhihi, Adeda, Niradhi, Jaladhi, it's the same meaning, that which is a repository of water. So you take it as Samudram. So this body or your form is like a Samudram of Rasam. And it has a luster which is Nisima, with endless luster and filled with the rasam, some kind of a, Shringara rasam. It is like a Shringara rasa samudram. Anenaiva rupena Mugdha Vilasineenam Moham Pravardhayasi. You are unnecessarily increasing the Moham for all these women, gopis, right, who are innocent women. So, atra moham apanetum swikritena rupena ishvaraha mugdha vilochananam moham pravardhayati. Anyat chikirshan anyat karoti ityeva. Moha apanayana rupam karyam chikirshan. So, iti anyat kartum pravrittena. He has actually set out to remove the vishaya moham from people. But he ends up increasing the moha for the women here because he has such a beautiful form which has so much of luster here. So, anyat kartum pravrittena tad viruddha kriti rupa asangatihi jananam ajnanam nivartayatum adattena rupenaiva. To remove the ignorance of the people, he took on a form. With the same form, tattenaiva rupena mugdha vilochananam anuragam vardhayati. You are increasing that love for that people have, that women have for you. Clear? Okay. இதுக்கு வந்து I don't think there is. Oh, ஆயிடுதா அதோட? Okay. We have to go to the next one, Vishama alankara. Sir, any doubts till now? Liye. Okay. So Vishama alankara is also of 3 types, I think. Virupa ghatana rupaha, virupa karya utpatti rupaha, ishtartha udyamat anishta avapti rupaha cha iti. So there are 3 types here. We are going to get confused with the second one. Well, let's deal with it. Vishamam varnyate yatra ghatana ananurupayoho. Ananurupayoho ghatana Vishamam varnyate yatra, wherever there is a ghatana, 2 things which cannot be anurupa, which are not appropriate to each other, which cannot even come together. So, ananurupayoho, visadrishayoho, they are not similar. 2 non-similar objects, arthayoho, padarthayoho, yatra ghatana, wherever a connection is seen, sambandha is described, that is Vishama alankara. The ananurupatvam should also be described. The ghatana should also be described. You realize? So it should be explained in such a manner that we should also see the impossibility of the connection, but at the same time that connection is also there. That's the whole point of Vishama alankara here. So the example here is Kva iyam shirisha mridvangi Kva tavat makaradhvajaha. Shirisha mridu angi Kva. Where is this lady who has very soft anga, soft limbs, like the Shirisha pushpam, tumba poongrolya, and the madri, or something very soft which cannot hold even a bee's legs, or which can only hold a bee's legs but not at the idla varume Kumara Sambhavatla. Napunaf patatrinaha. So Shirisha Mridvangi. Shirisham is a very soft flower and her limbs are all as soft as a Shirisha flower. So Kva iyam, where is this? And Kva tavat Makaradvajaha. Where is Manmatha, who has these big crocodile kind of animals in his flag? So you're talking about Manmatha, who creates havoc in people's minds, whereas she is a person who cannot tolerate that at all. He gives tapam, which will completely fade her soft limbs. So both of these things cannot happen at the same time, but at the same time she is experiencing Manmatha tapa. So iyam shirisha mridvangi kwa, where is she? And tadrik tathavidaha makaradvajaha kwa ityatra ati mridulatvena. These limbs are very soft and it cannot withstand the effect of Manmatha. Ati dussahatvena cha makaradvajasya. So asyaha ati mridulatvam ati mridulattvena tasya cha ati dussahatvena. Tasya ityukte makaradvajasya, Manmathasya. So it is very difficult to tolerate Manmatha, the effects of Manmatha. So these two are asadrisham. These are not similar. A soft body can tolerate something soft attack. It cannot tolerate a harsh attack. So Angana Makaradvajayoho Ghatanat. These two seem to exist at the same time, even though it is inconceivable that these two can come together. Okay. So it is Vishama alankara. Common examples are Surya Prabhavo Vamsha, Kvachalpa Vishayamati. Where is Surya Vamsha and where is my Buddhi? Still, I am trying to explain this Surya Vamsha. Yeah. Even in Bharavis, Tava Anubhavoyam Avediyan Maya Kwa Bhupatinam Charitam Nisargadurbodham Abodha Viklavah Kwa Bhupatinam Kwa Charitam Kwa Jantavah. Where is the king's Charitam, their behavior, and where am I, who am just a Vanechara or an ordinary subject, but still I have tried to understand the workings of Duryodhana's brain and I'm trying to explain to you. So, ayancha Vishamalankaraha Trividhaha. So, we saw this Virupa Ghatana Rupaha. This is the first one that we saw. We are going to see the second one, which is Virupa Karya Utpatti Rupaha. This is going to confuse us with the other one, but before that, we will do the Aparam Udaharanam. Abhilashasi yadi Indo Vaktralakshmi Mrigakshyāha Punarapi Sakrid Abdhau Majja Sankshalaya Ankam Suvimalam Atha Bimbam Parijata Prasunaihi Surabhaya Vada Nochet Tvam Kwa Tasyaha Mukam Kwa. So two things the poet is trying to say and point out to the difference between the moon and the woman's face, the lady's face here. The lady's face is beautiful, but he is looking at the moon and he's saying, hey, Indo, O moon, yadi vaktra mrigakshyāha vaktra lakshmīm abhilashasi. You seem to be desiring for this lady's the face beauty that is there in her face. Mrigakshyāha, the doe-eyed or the fawn-eyed ladies, Vaktra Lakshmi, the beauty of her face. Yadi abhilashasi, if you desire for that, so what you have to do is Punarapi Sakrit. Sakrit Palamura ilya. Asakrit is once, I think. Sakrit is Punaf Punaha. Punaf Punaha, again and again, you go to this Samudra, Kshirasagara, Abdhau Majja, go and dip again and again, not Kshirasagara. Even this, the moon setting is also into the ocean, right? So you go and dip yourself again and again into the ocean and remove your kalankam here. Sankshalaya ankam. Remove your kalankam. Huh? And then
Sakrit sevaya nitya seva. Sakritana udane.
Udane.
Ekavaram
Idanim Sakrit, right? Ekavaram nama atra tu punaf punaha iti na iti mani.
Punaf punaha.
Asakrit is punaf punaha.
Punaf punaha. Sakrit is once.
Once and udane. Okay, I thought it had the force of it is once, but I think it has the force of right now, or maybe it's
at once.
You're right.
At once is also good.
Yeah, at once.
Punarapi, again, Vodane, நீ போய் அங்க வந்து குதி அப்படிங்கிற அந்த மாதிரி. So go immediately at once and dip yourself into the ocean and remove this ankam, the chinnam that you have.
And I mean, it's funny because don't we call the moon sometimes as mriganka?
Yeah. மிருகாக்ஷியாக. ஆமா ஆமா, அவளுக்கு மான் கண்ணு இருக்கலாம், பட் மான் வந்து இங்க களங்கம்னு தானே சொல்றோம். The next one is even better. That you can't say anything. At least idukavadu mriganka iti vaktum shakyate. Parantu atra suvimalam atha bimbam, then your bimbam, your face will become very pure after having made your face very pure. Next you bring parijata pushpam. Parijata prasunaihi surabhaya. Then you vada, then you speak. You know, you have to first put some spray into your mouth, make yourself fragrant, because she has the smell of parijata pushpam as she speaks, or in her nishwasa. So uttama jati nam tu tatra nishwasaha sugandhi vartate. So she probably has this parijata smell. So parijata prasunaihi atmanam surabhaya. You make yourself fragrant with the flowers of parijata tree, and then vada. No chet, otherwise tvam kwa, where are you? Tasyaha mukham kwa, and where is her face? So these two cannot even be compared here. Atra asadrishayoho chandra mukha lakshmiyoho lakshmiyoho ghatanat vishamam. It is only a possibility, that's all. It cannot happen actually, right? So this is the difference between the original and this one, the first example and the aparam udaharanam.
But these two shlokas come together, right? I mean, the suvimalam atha.
Amama ore shlokam.
Okay, it's ore shlokam.
Ore shlokam.
Okay.
Yeah. It's just that he cannot, idhula vandu there is never a possibility. See, at least here manmatha tapaha tu tasyam vartate eva. Yadyapi asahyatvam vartate, tathapi sa tu anubhavatyeva. Manmatha is present in her body. You know, that effect of manmatha. Just similarly, kwa surya prabhava vamshaha kwacha alpamatihi. Even with this alpamati, I have tried to grasp that surya vamsha, right? That is possible. Whereas here, this is not at all possible, is what he's saying. That's just a simple difference.
So he's referring to the fact that Lakshmi and Chandra both come from the ocean. However, the Chandras, when he sees the Mrigakshi, if he wants to get the beauty of her face, he has to immediately go back to the ocean and take a bath, and he has to remove that. Maybe because he desired to be like Mrigakshi, he's got a Mriganka, but that's a mistake. He's got to wipe it off.
Yeah.
And so he has to do that, and then he has to make his face fragrant. Yeah, mukwas, or he has to make his face fragrant with the flowers to kind of try to approach, to have any semblance with her face. Very nice.
Okay. Dvitiyam vishamam. Virupakaryasya utpattihi aparam vishamam matam. So the karanam, from the karana gunam karye anubadhnati. Usually the qualities that are present in the karana will also be present in the karyam. But here karana gunat viruddha karya guna utpatti varnane dvitiyam vishamam. So karana gunam karane yaha gunaha vartate, tasmat gunat viruddha gunam karye viruddha gunaha karye drishyate. So then if that sort of a description is present, then it is called Vishama alankara, second type of Vishama. Kirtim prasute dhavalam shyama tava kripanika. Tava kripanika, your sword is dark in color, shyama, but that dark sword gives rise to a white kirti. Now this is the same as our fifth vibhavana. You know, karyasya vilakshana gunashalitve vishamaalankaraha. So 1 minute. Shyama varnayaha kripanikayaha tad viruddha dhavala kirtehe utpatti varnanat. Usually sword is very dark in color because they have to heat it, and then to make it really thin, they have to hit it with hammer and anvil and all that. So it becomes really dark because of repeated dipping into the heat and cold water. So because of that, the swords are always usually dark in color. The kirti, when a king uses that and he spreads fame as a very valorous person or a brave person, then he spreads kirti, which is white. So white is Kavi Samaye tu, it is called as it is white in color. Kirti is white in color. So that's why Tadviruddha Dhavala Kirti. If the Kripana is Shyama, if the sword is black, the Karyam, which is Kirti, should also have the same quality, which is black, but it doesn't. It has a Viruddha Dhavalatvam there. Karyasya Vilakshana Gunashalitve Vishama alankara. कारणस्य विरुद्धकार्य निर्वर्तकत्वे पंचमी विभावना इति अनयोर भेदः. So there is a nivartya nivartaka bhava, nivartaka bhava, completion or doing a work completely. It is not just the gunam that we are talking about. It has to be an entire work which is being done. So it is not only a transference of opposite quality. So that's the only difference. If you can figure out, let me show the Sudhamshu Kiranahan irukku. 1 minute. Sudhamshu Kirana.
Shitamshu Kiranastanvim Anta Santapayanti Tam.
Santapayanti. So Sudhamshu Kiranaha or Shitamshu Kiranaha. Shitamshu, you take it as Chandra. The rays of the moon, Santapayanti Tanvim, they cause heat to the lady. So what is happening there is Shitam Tapam Janayati iti yadi vadamaha, then it becomes probably, I don't know, then it can be this one, but that's why I get confused between the two. If you look at this, Karana Rupa Vijatiya Ityanutva, Karana Vilakshana Ityeva, Tatha Ukte, Sudhamshu Kiranaha, he takes it as Sudhamshu Kiranaha, Iti Udahrita Panchama Vibhavanayam, Karya Karana Yoho, Nivartya Nivartaka Bhavena. Nivartya Nivartaka Bhava is that which is accomplished. So the entire work is accomplished by something. Whereas here it is Karana Vilakshana Karya Utpatti Varnanata Atibhyaptihi, but there is an Atibhyapti there in the 5th Vibhavana. But you take it here as Ukta Vivaksha Anusaranam. So Ukta Vivaksha Anusaranam is Karana Gunaha hi Karya Gunan Arabhante. You will have to only look at the specific gunam if it is mentioned. So in this example, he says, Tava Kripanika Shyama. The gunam is mentioned in the Karanam. So Dhavalam Kirtim Prasute. The gunam is mentioned separately in the Karya. So the Karana Gunam produces a Viruddha Karya Gunam. That's all. So if
as opposed to what was the Vibhavana example in contrast to this?
Sudhamshu Kiranaha iti asti. Vibhavanala Sasambhava
Shitamshu Kiranaha Tanvim Hanta Santapayanti Tam.
Oh, okay. So that is okay. There's no mention of qualities there.
No quality is mentioned here. So Kiranaha Santapayanti. So directly the accomplishment of Karyam from the Karanam is mentioned. And there is a Virodha there in the entire Karya Utpatti.
In the sense that it's Shitamshu, he has kind of mentioned it by saying it's Shitamshu.
So that is only in the Tatparyam. It is not in the Vachyartha.
Oh, that's true. In the Tatparyam. Okay.
That's the only difference I can see.
Very subtle. Very subtle.
we can just take it as no difference, but nalla vela he has not given an aparam udavaran for me to break my head with. So
yeah.
Tritiyam Vishamam.
Raghuvansham Udaharanam is written. That one is which one, Modi?
Raghuvansham. Sakila Ashvasita Chandi Bhartra Tat Samshrutau Varau Udvavama Indrasikta Bhuhu Bilamagnau Eva Urago. Ashvasita Udvavama Varau Udvavama. This is Vibhavana, because the Gunam is not mentioned.
Vibhavana.
Vishama.
Vishama example.
This Vishama. Oh, I don't know. What is the... I don't know how I have justified this as Vishama. I need to check.
What is the shloka, Mohodi? One more time.
Sakila Ashvasita Chandi Bhartra Tat Samshrutau Varau Udvavama Indrasikta Bhuhu Bilamagnau Iva Urago. This is an Upama alankara.
Upama plus Vishama.
So she...
Ashvasita Chandi Bhartra Vishama Seri. Enna, I would have given some justification there, right?
So she so like a snake, she vomited something.
Brought out the two boons. As soon as she was pacified by the king, she brought out the two varas, like how when rain completely drenches the hole inside a bhumi, it lets out the two snakes.
Oh.
Viruddha karyam. So when something is pacified, you don't bring out. In the example padi pathomna, then you have to take it as vibhavana, this nivartya nivartaka bhava. Yeah, that is present. So it should be the fifth type of vibhavana.
Yeah.
Ashvasane. Yeah.
So rain should bring out flowers.
Probably I'm thinking of this Tritiyam Vishamam when I said that is Vishama alankara, where Anishtasya Avaptihi. Ishtartha Samudyamat. He that is the one variety. Yes, it is not Vibhavana, but it is Vishama of the third variety. So, Anishtasya Avaptihi. Tad Ishtartha Samudyamat. When you wanted to go and get something accomplished, you get an undesired result from that. Ishtam tu tatra sa tasyaha ashvasanam. And then she should actually get ready to coronate Rama there. Get ready and be happy about having been consoled by Dasharatha, etc., etc. But then instead she asks for something even more dangerous, like Rama going to the forest here. So it is Anishta Vaptihi. The example here is Bhakshya Ashaya Ahimanjusham Dashtva Akhuhu Tena Bhakshitaha. Bhakshya Ashaya. Akhu is the Munjor solron, a rat. Rat goes and finds an Ahimanjusha. It finds a snake basket. It thinks that there is something to eat for it there. So it starts biting into that basket. Bhakshya Ashaya. Out of a desire to have something to eat, it goes and bites the basket of a snake. So Ahimanjusham Dashtva, after having bitten the basket, Tena Bhakshitaha. Tena Ahina. By that snake itself, it was again eaten by the snake. So it tried to look for something which is desired, but then it ended up getting destroyed, right? Getting killed. So Ishtartha Samudyamat, Abhilashita Artha Udyogat, because of an effort to attain something it wanted. Bhakshya Ashaya. Na kevalam ishtasya apraptihi. Not only it did not get what it wanted, apitu anishtasya avaptihi, it also got something undesired. Iti Tritiyam Vishamam. Akuhu Mushikaha Bhakshya Ashaya, Bhakshya Dravya Labha Trishnaya, because of an extreme desire, Trishna, a desire to obtain something to eat, Bhakshya Vishesha. Ahimanjusham Sarpapetikam Dashtva, Dashanaihi Chitwa, it breaks it open with its teeth, and Tena Sarpena Bhakshitaha, it was instead eaten by the snake itself. Ityatra Aharartham Pravrittasya Mushakasya, by Mushaka, the rat which started to go in search of food, na kevalam bhakshya anavaptihi. It not only did not get bhakshyam, it did not obtain what it wanted, apitu marana rupa anishta avaptihi iti tritiyam vishama. Okay. Aparam udaharanam. Gopala iti krishnatvam. Oh, this is a beautiful one. Prachura kshira vanchaya shrito matrastana kshiram api alabhyam tvaya kritam. Gopala iti, hey Krishna, tvam prachura kshira vanchaya shritaha aham. A bhakta tells, addresses Krishna and says, hey Krishna, tvam gopalaha, you are a cowherd, iti matva prachura kshira vanchaya, out of great desire to get milk, out of a desire to obtain a lot of milk. See, you are Gopala. So if I pray to you, you are going to give me lots of milk. Iti vanchaya, because of that desire, I surrendered myself to you. Shritaha tvam matrastana kshiram api alabhyam tvaya kritam. But what did you do? You ensured that I did not get even my mother's breast milk. So matrastana kshiram api alabhyam tvaya kritam. Tari tatra punar janma eva na asit. Yasmat yasmin janmani matrastana panam tu bhavediti. So punaha, you ensured that you gave me moksha, and but this is actually not anishta avaptihi. It's a very different way of saying it, no? Ishtasya prachurasya kshirasya. My desired was to get a lot of milk, it seems. Tattu alabhaha. I did not get milk. Instead, matrastana kshira anavapti rupa anishta avaptihi cha iti tritiyam vishamam. This is not an undesired, maybe.
Oh, because it is saying Gopala and all, so it's like Gopala, like that.
Lala. Undesired தான். ஏன்னா போனது வந்து ஐஹிக சுகார்த்தம் தத்ர கிருஷ்ணஸ்ய பிரார்த்தனா கிருதா. Right? He wanted only aihika sukham, but Krishna was ready to give him even moksha. Why do you need all this? You don't need any of these things. I will give you moksha.
But it's got elements of ninda stuti or stuti, whatever the combination, right? It appears like ninda, but actually it is stuti.
It's a stotram.
Right? I mean, so it's got that other alankara kind of mixed in, I'm guessing.
Yes. There is Vyajastuti also in this. Through this Vishama alankara, there is a Vyajastuti also. So I would say the Anga alankaram is Vishama alankara and Angi is Vyajastuti.
Angi is Vyajastuti.
The main would be Vyajastuti.
Vyajastuti. Right.
It's a beautiful alankara way of looking at it. Yeah, the shloka is nice.
And that Raghuamsham tato in the Paulastya, that shlokam is which kind?
Yedu.
Tato bibeda Paulastya shaktya vakshasi lakshmana.
Enna alankarathukku potirundhela adu?
In the Asangati.
Tato bibeda Paulastya shaktya vakshasi lakshmanam ramastu anahato आसीत् विदीर्ण अन्यत्र कृति कारणम् इंगे अन्यत्र कार्यम्.
But it is happening in both, right? Both of them get.
I mentioned padle. What is being described here?
Dvitiya.
So Lakshmana gets it and Rama is fine.
Anyatra kriti rupa.
No. Anyatra kritihi iti na. I think karya hetoho viruddha binna deshatva rupam.
Yeah.
It's first one only. Then.
First one only.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, first one only because, see, shaktya lakshmanam vakshasi bibheda. Parantu kena anubhutam tat. रामेण एव
रामः
अनुभूतम् इति वर्णितम्
हृदय
रामः शुचा विदीर्णहृदयः आसीत् okay yeah so bhedah or ahatihi lakshmane karanam and then karyam where is that hridaya vidirnatvam is in Rama so bhinna deshatvam okay yeah
and then that